Hi, everyone. I am just going to share with you how I believe the new general ed requirement area will be covered with Sophia. Yes, I feel very confident that there will still be study.com equivalents. I am not saying that there will not be equivalents at all. I just want to make sure that I state that clearly. But I am focusing this on Sophia because I do know that that is where the grand majority of people try to work through their general ed. The other piece I want to say is if you are transferring in any of this from a prior college, I don't know when the database will be updated, but what I do know is how it would have come in before should be fine. If you took Intro to Ethics at another college, the likelihood it's going to come in to cover Intro to Ethics at UMPI is very strong. Same thing for American government or US history or algebra. So this is basing it on if you were starting from scratch and you had no transfers, how I think things from Sophia will come in as equivalent. So for the new general education requirements, so these came down from NECHE, which is the accreditation body, and this goes to all of the schools that they accredit. This has nothing to do with any recent events. This was implemented back in December to be effective July 1. And of course, any school that's a part of that accreditation body needs to comply. And frankly, I actually think this is a great improvement to the general ed. I like that the GLO 3 has three different areas of focus, but everything else, instead of the 1A, 1B, 2C, 3D, this just makes it so much more simplified. And I think it's going to be really beneficial to folks. You're still going to need to do 40 credits of the general education area. So whereas before you might have double dipped and triple dipped on a few things and not gotten credits for them, that's okay. You were still probably at about 40 credits, 43 for most people in the general ed. Now we're got to be at 40 minimum. And because of that, there are some ways that I think people should go about this. So everyone's going to need English 1 and English 2, or at Sophia Workplace Writing 2 comes in to cover English 121 at UMPI. And then in the oral communication area, this area, if you were doing a BBA at UMPI or even maybe minoring in something that has the COM 210 requirement, that's going to cover this area for you. If you aren't doing that, I do believe that public speaking and business communication will be your options at Sophia. Historically, they've come in to cover the oral communication requirement. I don't see any reason that should change. For GLO 3, for the arts and humanities, your option at Sophia is going to be Intro to Ethics. Don't get me wrong, there are other options at UMPI. I'm focusing this solely on what to do at Sophia. For GLO 3, which is your social sciences, you can pick either US government or Intro to Psychology. I pulled this from another plan. You don't have to take Intro to Psychology. But if someone was doing a BA Psychology, then you would want to do Intro to Psychology. There'd really be no reason to do US government unless you chose to. And you're seeing how I'm counting the credits for each area here, because you only, in this one, you need to pick both, but in each of these, you're just picking one, okay? Coming down the plan, you have to do a lab science worth 4 credits, which would be your human biology plus the lab or your chemistry plus the lab. It does not cover these specific course numbers, but at UMPI, those are the course numbers that you could do, though only 105 is offered in your pace, at least at this point. And then GLO 4 takes you into innovative and creative thinking. I believe, based on the classes that UMPI is saying are equivalent for this area, that critical thinking from Sophia should still come in and cover the GLO 4 area. It's mostly art classes otherwise at UMPI, so I X'd this out to be art XXX because there are a bunch of art classes you could pick from, but I think it's going to be critical thinking from Sophia to cover this. This area in particular, I could be wrong on. And I'm going to just put I could be wrong. Uh, we will see once we have some folks who have transferred things in. For a GLO 5, you need to pick either college algebra or intro to statistics. For GLO 6, you need to pick either environmental science, health, fitness, and wellness, or macro and microeconomics, which combined come in to cover Business 207. With that said, I think this area I would do everything because that will help you get to your 40 credits total. So that's why I've numbered these out to take. And then for GLO7, you need to pick one of these. Guess what that means? You can do US history or you could do sociology, and you don't have to do French or Spanish anymore. So we can forego the foreign language. We can focus on history or sociology instead. And then the integrative learning area is the only other area I am questioning what will end up being equivalent. If you are doing a BBA, you will already have Business 203, which is equivalent in this area. If you are not doing a BBA, your option at UMPI is HUM 184. It's that Zombies in American Culture or American, whatever class, which apparently is not actually about zombies at all. So don't get too excited. However, I believe that your other option in this area will be art history and possibly visual communication. I think I might be wrong on that, but that's my gut. My gut is telling me I might be right. So that is how this is laid out. If you do all of those, you're going to be at a total of 40 credits, and 40 credits is the requirement for this. So just know, let's just say you didn't want to do macro and microeconomics and you just wanted to take US history 1 and 2, then you would just count your credit, your 3 credits from here, and, it would still get you to 40 credits. If you have any questions, please let me know. If I built your plan, part of the pro plan service is a revision to your plan. I think that you could probably take this and logically make those revisions for yourself. However, it is part of your plan, but you have to reach out to me. I do not know where anyone is in their degree journey. I don't know if you've transferred everything in and gotten it all approved the way it needs to be or any of those things. Likewise, if you have finished your degree and you're just like browsing and you're just watching this for funsies, please let me know that you're done. I would love that. And in addition to that, I want to say that I don't know what all will be truly equivalent, if they're going to be like sticklers to certain things. I don't know when the database is going to be updated for us to really be able to dig even deeper into this. But if you have an audit, the nicest, kindest thing you could do is send it my way so that I can look at everything, and whatever I learn from yours, I can help, and with that knowledge be able to help others. So I really appreciate it. I'll totally send you a coffee if you send me your degree plan audit, and I can just look at it as long as it has these updated GLO 8s, or up to the GLO 8. That would be phenomenal. And if you have any other questions, please let me know. Thank you so much. Have a great one.